Hello everyone, my name is JaCubAsAlways, the head coach of the Green Bay Pikachus, and this is week number 1 of the P4G, the next generation, where we're facing JohnnyGB, the head coach of the Oregon Duckletts. This is the team building portion. I haven't decided if I'm going to combine this with the actual battle or not, depending on how long the battle is, because we're going to be doing them live just like the APA. It all depends on that. If it's a longer battle, obviously this will be a separate video, but if it's a shorter battle, these will probably be combined because these are usually about 20 minutes or so. I just don't want the battle or the entire video going like an hour long, because that's a really long video. I mean, you guys could watch it in parts, but that's besides the point. Anyway, make sure you check out JohnnyGB in the description down below to his Twitter and YouTube. And if I remember, I will leave a link. Oh, actually, I'll leave a link to the description of all the coaches down there because somebody, I think it was Ultra Tom, I think that's what his name was. He made an entire, like, you just copy and paste thing, and you can put that in the description down below for all the coaches, so that'll be nice. But I'll make sure to leave his Twitter down below. He's actually the commissioner of the ICBA, a league we are actually a part of for the first 2 seasons. I'm not sure if we're going to return for season 3 or not, because I got some things in the work, and I got some things planned for the future, so I don't know. We'll see if we're going to be in that, though. It was definitely a fun league, so we'll just see and find out later in this season and later in this year. We're going to be a part of season number 3. I am sure he'll allow us to, but we'll see. But anyway, this is the first team builder. So as you guys know, team builders go. We go over our team, his team, why we're bringing the 6 we're bringing. So let's get started, shall we? So let's go over our team first. Our team is as followed. If you didn't check out the draft analysis, I'm sure I'll leave a playlist in the description down below to that, so you can check that out and never miss out any P4G Next Generation upload. But anyway, our team is Landorus, Therian Form, Blacephalon, Tentacruel, Porygon 2, Mesprit, Alolan Executor, Mega Mawile, Jolteon, Umbreon, Mienshao, Omastar, and then Groundinium Z. Not sure how I'm going to put that on the layout, but we'll figure out. I'll just like place the Groundinium Z or something like that. Or maybe I'll just leave it out, but you guys will hear me stating that. Anyway, his team is as followed. Let's go to that. It is Garchomp, Tangrowth, Greninja, Lycanroc Dusk, Blaziken, Kecleon, Magearna, Silvally, Heliolisk, Audino, Mr. Mime, and Electrium Z. So basically, he's got the Electrium Z. He didn't draft the Mega because he got Magearna, so that is a thing. However, he can use the Electrium Z pretty well on his team because he's got things like Thunder Punch Blaziken, which is Blaze only, and he's got, well, also I want to state, Greninja's only Torrent, it's not Protean. You could have drafted Protean or Ash Greninja, but only one of those could be drafted by anybody in the entire league, so I think Max has Protean Greninja. I'm pretty sure he got Protean Greninja, so therefore Ash Greninja could not have been selected, so we don't want Greninjas rolling around, but yes. He also got Helios for Electrium Z as well as Magearna, which is the biggest threat ever, but I think we prepped really well around Magearna this matchup. We have offensive and defensive checks, and honestly, if it's Trick Room, we have ways to beat that. If it's Shift Gear, we have a way to beat that offensively. So pretty much any Magearna set he brings, we can check offensively under Trick Room or with a Choice Scarf outspeeding Shift Gear. So we are pretty well set. You guys probably know a few different ways how we're checking it, but anyway, first up, the entire team is built around this bad boy right here. Landorus T with the Earth Plate, obviously Intimidate, that's the only ability. Rock Polish, Earthquake, Fly, and Swords Dance. You'll be like, Jacob, you don't have the Flying EMZ. Why are you running Fly? Well, Fly still does a number to his team if you can't tell. And in combination with Earth Plate and Adamant Earth Plate, he doesn't really have a switch in. His switch into this is Tangrowth, which Fly will beat. And with the investment in spread in our Lando T, after a Rock Polish, this outspeeds a Scarf Heliolisk, I'm pretty sure. Let me just check. So that's 266 divided by 1.5. Yeah, it's Heliolisk, Scarf Heliolisk. So that's cool that we're always going to outspeed that. Very good in our part. So anyway, that'll outspeed Scarf Heliolisk, which I don't anticipate him to bring Scarf Greninja. And I'm not going to run that much speed for Scarf Greninja because otherwise I would have had to go Jolly, and I don't want to go Jolly. I want to go Adamant to hit as hard as I can. But with our special defense and our 4 HP, we will live an uninvested crit HP Ice. Yes, it's a bit absurd to plan for hacks, but I want to be able to set up on this Tangrowth all I can. So I want to use Tangrowth to a disadvantage, not to an advantage for him. So we can live a crit HP ice, unless he's like heavily invested. Then we'll just die. But if he doesn't crit us, then we'll live anyway. Even if he's heavily invested, the only way we don't live is if either he specs, or I guess Life Orb we might not live either. But if he's modest 252, we still have, it's like a 6.3% chance to kill us. That's the same with a crit, by the way. A 6.3% chance to crit us. That's not after rocks, but still, that's a really good chance to live and set up on this. And a +2 fly will always knock out Tangrowth unless it's Cobra Berry, which I don't think, I can't see him bringing. Because why would he bring Cobra Berry versus a team like ours? I don't think Assault Vest either, but I guess he could bring Cobra Berry, Predicting Fly. But Toxic Spikes are still gonna take a toll on him. And by the way, even if he's Protect, we'll still beat Tangrowth 1v1 because he's gonna have to Protect every time on our fly, allowing us to set up more, which is great. So I will bring this in late game to try to beat Tangrowth. I think, and Fly with just without clicking Sword Stance does like 61 to 71 perhaps. Or, no, if it's physically defensive, it'll do like 48 to 57 is what the calc was, I believe. I might be wrong, but it's still a lot of damage. And in combination with Toxic Spikes, it's going to eventually kill it. So he's going to have to play his card right, just like we will. But this is a good offensive check to Magirna as well. If it's like Trick Room Shuckleberry, we'll do enough damage to it, put it in the range. This is a very good breaker versus his team because it can set up on things like Garchomp too. It could be Life Orb Draco, but we can take that. Look at our investment in our special defense, so we can set up Rock Polish Baps on it and click SD right after. So we're not going to lose to Garchomp. No way, no way, no how. Garchomp will not beat us here, especially if Toxic Spikes get up, because his ways of removing hazards are not the best. Let's see. Looking at his team right now, I don't have the, and like I make a Word document or a Google Doc every time I like build teams so I can see everything, but I don't have that anymore since I built this team like 2 weeks ago, so I'm trying to remember each and every single thing about it, but if I don't, I am sorry. Let's see. His ways to remove hazards are Savali, Blaziken, and that looks about it. I don't see any ways to remove hazards besides those two. At first glance, because I don't have my thing anymore, my doc, but I don't see any other way. So if he brings any of those, more than likely they're going to get poisoned upon the switch in. By the way, I talk about Toxic Spikes because next Pokemon we have is A1X Alex, the Tentacruel, with the Black Sludge Liquid Ooze, in case he decides to want to run Leech Seed on Tangrowth or something, or Giga Drain. We switch in, and he's going to take some damage, which is great. Liquid Ooze is kind of a very niche ability, not very seen very often in the draft format, but this is also a very, very nice switch into Greninja. If we can get Toxic Spikes up, if he doesn't bring away to remove it, which I think Savali Steel probably shouldn't come, but he could bring Savali Poison, but then again, those two are still really, really weak to Landorus, so I don't really think he'll do that. I mean, then again, Savali does get Ice Beam, so it wouldn't be setup fodder per se, but it still wouldn't be appreciating an Earthquake. But that's besides the point. Our goal is to get Toxic Spikes up as soon as we can. So basically, so an issue I will state for this team though is set up Garchomp to a degree. We don't have the best ways to handle it. I mean, Lando T, if we have to sack off Lando T to do it, we might have to, but we still have plenty of ways of winning, especially late game with Blacephalon, which we'll get to, especially if Toxic Spikes are up. And if we get a Beast Boost going as well, that'll be pretty excellent as well. But yeah, we have Protect, not only to get more chip damage with Toxic Spikes, but to get some more HP back with Black Sludge. We do have Wish support down the line with Umbreon, but I don't wanna mess with that. I just don't want to mess with that at all. So Toxic Spikes it is. His hazards are Garchomp. Greninja gets any hazard, so well, Toxic Spikes or Spikes. Garchomp with Rocks. Licking Rock Dust with Rocks, which I don't think he'll bring Licking Rock Dust whatsoever. Lando T sets up on that, and I don't think he wants that. Blaziken I could see him bringing, because HPS Mixed Blaziken could be potentially annoying. But we do have Tentacruel, and it's not like Speed Boost or anything like that. So Tentacruel can check Blaziken to a degree, so not too worried about that. Kecleon I'm not worried about at all. He gets Stealth Rock with that. And that's it for hazards, unless I missed something. I might have missed something. I hope I didn't. But yeah, he doesn't have many hazards on his team. We have a lot of hazard options on our team, so that's really good for us. But yeah, Rapid Spin too, in case so we can freely Rapid Spin versus team pretty much. Because unless I'm not seeing something, then again, this team was made a couple weeks ago. He does not have a Ghost type unless he brings Savali Ghost, which could come kind of, but at the same time, that just makes his team that much more weak to Blacephalon. Plus, Umbreon will kind of wall that anyway, so I doubt he brings Savali Ghost. So he's got no way of spin blocking. So Tentacruel was just a for sure bring. It's a good to great Greninja check, so I like that for sure. But yeah, that is our Tentacruel. Not much to be said about it. It just should do its job pretty well this game. Next up, we got Scruffy, the Jolteon, with the Assault Vest Volt Absorb. Because this is our first switch-in to Magearna. I want to scout what type of Magearna it is. So and plus if it tries to click Electrium Z per se on a Tentacruel, because Tentacruel takes both of its stabs decently well. We can easily, I mean, I'm pretty sure it'll bring Electrium Z, like Trick Room Electrium Z or Trick Room Shift Gear. So Jolteon can take some hits, get a Volt Absorb maybe, or a Assault Vest to take any hit. We are really bulky. This is also a secondary check to Greninja. I would envision Greninja would only run enough speed for Blacephalon because that is our fastest Pokemon outside of Jolteon. So that's what I'm creeping with this. We can go Modest, hit a little bit harder instead of going more speed. So we can hit pretty hard versus his team. Synchronize is only for Helios, just to hit that thing a little bit harder. Otherwise, HP Ice and Volt Switch and Electric moves just aren't doing the job. So Synchronize hits that thing a little bit harder. So that's why I'm running Synchronize on it. Volt Switch for nice initiative. We click HP Ice. I'm pretty sure his switch into this will be Tangrowth or Magearna. Those are his only good switch-ins to this. I guess so bulky Savali Ground could also be, or Audino, but I'm not going to leave this thing in versus those. I would just Volt Switch out anyway. So if he goes to Tangrowth, I Volt Switch. If he goes to Garchomp, I want to just click it. I can go to Lando T to pivot or go to Umbreon. Because next up, because the speed is just for Greninja. It's this thing's really bulky with the Assault Vest and the HP investment. Like, his special hits are going to be bouncing off this thing. So this is kind of a switching, another safety valve for Greninja. Greninja is easily the toughest Pokemon I have to face. That and Blaziken. Those two are like the more annoying Pokemon that we have to face in this game. But next up, the defensive backbone of this team is Tentacruel, Jolteon, plus Umbreon with Wish support. I'm not running Heal Bell. I don't need Heal Bell. Heal Bell Umbreon is just really not needed. The only thing I'm really afraid of here is he could Baton Pass like a Swords Dance into like a Scarf Garchomp. That could be kind of problematic. But we do have Lando T and plus Mega Mawile, so if he's Scarf Garchomp, he's going to have to lock himself into one of that, and Wish or Protect will help with that. But we have Baton Pass, so we can keep momentum up because we have Volt Switch on Jolteon and Baton Pass and Umbreon, so we can keep the momentum up. This is the VOD, by the way, after my friend David. We're full physically defensive, so we can handle Garchomp better. And Garchomp can't set up on Umbreon because we can click Foul Play. So that's really good. Plus, this is actually a really good check to, what is it called? This is a really good check to Greninja as well, to a degree. Greninja, honestly, Umbreon's so bulky that Greninja can't do a whole lot, even with Specs Hydro Pump, but Tentacruel's are primary switching for that anyway. Blaziken is kind of set up fodder, but Foul Play is still going to be doing a lot of damage. We can pivot it into Lando T to get the defense drop. Unless it's Agility Swords Dance, unless he pulls off like a Dual Dance, Blaziken, I am really not that worried about it. Plus, he would have to get an Agility off and be enough speed, which I think he would have to be Timid Outspeed Blacephalon's, that's Scarf, which, spoiler alert, running Scarf Blacephalon, which we'll get to. which is one of our late game win cons if we play our cards right, which we should be able to. Once Greninja goes down and Blacephalon weakens his team, he could bring Kecleon for the Blacephalon. I could see him bring like Assault Vest Kecleon to take hits better from Blacephalon a little bit better, but that kind of just gets walled by Umbreon and Tentacruel, so not really a best bet for him. He could spin block in a way with Protean and Kecleon as well if he really wanted to, but eventually he's going to have to switch up. I mean, with our bulk and Tentacruel, like, he's not going to be doing that much damage, so I'm not really that worried about Kecleon there. So anyway, Umbreon is a really good pivot. It's really good for supporting the team with Wish. Like, if our Orlando T gets weakened, or Mega Mawile gets weakened, or Jolteon or Tentacruel, it's great here to just pass Wishes. So we have 2 Pokemon with Protect. It's going to be kind of annoying for him to break, both with Leftover / Black Sludge, so that's cool as well. Baton Pass for Momentum. Foul Play just so things don't set up. Like, honestly, this thing puts into work. The only issue with Umbreon here is obviously, of course, Magearna. Magearna is annoying for this, so I have to Baton Pass out. I have to play really aggressive versus Magearna. Once Magearna goes down, though, Umbreon kind of just sits there. It literally pretty much just sits there. Well, Blaziken too. But besides those things, Umbreon will probably just sit there in front of his team and never die. Ever. Like, I'm not kidding you guys. Umbreon won't die if Blaziken and Magearna are gone, because those are his best ways of killing it. So that's cool. But next up, I guess we will talk about our check to Trick Room, Quiet Nature, Zero Speed IV Magearna, and that is this bulky Mega Mawile. I believe Fire Fang will 2-hit KO this. We don't have Iron Head because we don't need Iron Head this matchup. Fire Fang just hits his team that much harder. Play Rough obviously hits things like Tangrowth harder than Fire Fang will because of Stab. Oh, it actually hits the same, doesn't it? No. Play Rough does 5 more base power because it's 135 Stab and Fire Fang is 130, so yeah. But still, it's going to be hitting it really, really hard. Now, obviously, we're not going to outspeed Tangrowth more than likely because we had to go 15 speed IVs, so we automatically outspeed Magearna under Trick Room, and it is a 2-hit KO under Trick Room, so we will check that thing. So that's great. We also have Sucker Punch on Mega Mawile because that way we can get some nice kills on anything that we need. Like I think the 20 attack was to always 2-hit KO, like max HP Magearna. The Sucker Punch is just nice late game. It helps versus a Blaziken sweep or just in general, just overall general versus team. And he might have sub on some Pokemon to play around Sucker Punch, but this is our Stealth Rocker this matchup. This is our check to Trick Room Magearna because we need all the checks we can get. Obviously, he's bringing Magearna. There's never not a reason to bring Magearna. You just like Pokemon like Kyurem Black, Lando T, Magearna. You always find a way to bring them on your team. It doesn't matter in what vein, you just find a way to bring your best Pokemon every game. Like, it doesn't matter, like, you just bring your best Pokemon. That's what I think about it. Like in the APA right now with Zygarde, I'm gonna bring Zygarde every game. So if any of my APA opponents are watching this, I will bring Zygarde every game. So you're always gonna have to prep for it. Don't ever think it's not, like, I will bring it every game. It's my best Pokemon. Like, you bring your best Pokemon every game. So that's just plain and simple. Like, Mega Mawile pretty much comes every game because it's one of my best Pokemon. Lando T is my best, but Mega Mawile is so good too. But yeah, this is our check to Trick Room Magearna because we need a check to that. And then we also need a check to Shift Gear Magearna. That's at +2. Obviously, if it's at +4, like then we're just idiots for letting it get to +4 for 1. But for 2, we need a check to that. So it's just at +2. Where is it? Scarf, Blacephalon, Clinton Dix. By the way, Brienne is my Mawile because, you know, fairy type. I usually name Brienne all my fairy types because that's my beautiful girlfriend. Anyway, we have Blacephalon as a nice check to a lot of things on this team, actually. Like I just stated, Shift Gear Magearna, that's a +2, not a +4. We're bad if we let it get to +4 this game. But yes, this checks it for sure. And it should be in range of Flamethrower pretty much after Mega Mawile can beat it or we weaken it down. Based on the team we brought, Magearna shouldn't be that big of an issue because we prepped a lot for it. The only thing that's really, there are 2 things that are passive versus it, and kind of 3, that's Jolteon, kinda, which we can get initiative on it, Tentacruel, and Umbreon, which I'm not staying in with Umbreon or Tentacruel, and I'll Volt Switch out with Jolteon to one of our offensive Pokemon. Probably, we'll switch into Jolteon, click Volt Switch into Lando T or Mega Mawile. We'll figure out what kind of set it is, and then we'll play from there. We also have Trick, because his switch into this Blacephalon is more than likely, like, he doesn't have a great switch in this. Honestly, he doesn't. I guess his switch in would have to be, like, bulky Garchomp to a degree, or something like Savali, like, not really Savali, like Assault Vest, normal Savali could actually do pretty well against Blacephalon to a degree. But we have Trick just in case we need it, in case Magearna does get out of hand. If it's like not Z-move Magearna, we can click Trick on it and lock himself into one move, and then we'll wall it with something on our team. And then Flamethrower, those will pretty much kill, unless he's Akaberry, but then we're going to try to break that Akaberry as soon as we can. But based on our team, like, Magearna is not going to be setting up on most Pokemon. The way we're going to play, like, no, Magearna shouldn't be that big of an issue unless we let it be an issue. Magearna, don't get me wrong, is one of the best Pokemon ever created, but I'm not going to allow it to be such an issue like a lot of people do. Don't get me wrong, it's a busted Pokemon, but we'll beat it. And more than likely, if we play our cards right, like, this game will be ours, based on our team we brought, and based on his team and everything. He's got to make sure Toxic Spikes aren't up for him, or he's going to lose the game, just like our first 2 opponents in the APA. They didn't prep for Toxic Spikes as well as they should, and they just lost to Toxic Spikes. Just like if he does not get rid of Toxic Spikes, which his only ways of removing Toxic Spikes are going to make his Pokemon get poisoned, unless he's Steel or Poison Savali, which, don't think that should come because of Lando T. Which, they could. Don't get me wrong, they could. But, if they're Poison and Steel Savali, we have plenty of ways to deal with that. And, Mawile just has a little bit of fun versus those anyway, so we'll see what happens. We shall see for sure. Parting Shot could be annoying, though, versus the team we built, but overall, I really, really am proud of this team. Honestly, I built this team by myself completely. Mark, aka the Scruffy Fox, didn't help me at all, I don't think. I'm pretty sure I built this team by myself, and I'm really, really proud of it, so I hope we play pretty well in Week 1 versus JohnnyGB. But to recap, we have A-Rod, the Landers T, A1X, Alex the Tentacruel, Devad the Umbreon, Scruffy the Jolteon, Brian the Mega Mawile, and Clinton Dix the Blacephalon. Can't believe that thing is tier 2 still, even without Z moves for the most part. But thanks for watching, everyone. Have a great day, and I love you all so very much. Adios, everyone. Bye-bye. We'll see you for Week 1.